Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexis. Today we're going to talk about how to unlock your next level in life, whatever that looks like for you, by connecting to your future self. And obviously, maybe not obviously, we know that time is not linear. So when I say your future self, this does not have to be a distant future. This does not have to be 5, 10, however many years beyond your current circumstance. Excuse me, I need to plug up my laptop, honey. This just needs to be beyond what you can see for yourself right now, okay? So to put it in short, how you're going to find this connection, and I had someone on TikTok actually ask me, like, because I made a post that was like, um to do this, you want to figure out what that person wants. What do they walk like? What do they talk like? What does their daily life look like? What does their habits look like? What does their overall being look like? And someone commented and said, well, how do I know? How you know is because you're creating it day by day. Your daily actions, your daily mindset, the things that you pour into your life is what is going to determine overall what that version of you in your quote unquote future self looks like. And mind you, a lot of people, when you say that, like your daily habits, they get this feeling of maybe like panic, like, oh, am I living right? Am I doing this right? Like, have I been building up these steps to get what I want in this perceived quote unquote future? But the thing about it is that you get to change your mind at any given moment. Infinite realities exist, and we're obviously going to need to, I need to stop saying obviously, but we get to choose who we want to be in a moment. And this is going to be something that you need to research further. Like, you need to research quantum realities, you need to research multiverses, you need to open yourself up to the possibility of there being multiple versions of you and all of them living and existing in different realities, and you get to choose which one. It's like the it's called the observer effect. So at any given moment you get to choose who you want to be. Okay, so one thing that I do that really helps me quantum leap or kind of move into the reality of who I want to be in my next stages of life is that I will just simply envision myself doing the things that I would perceive them doing. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because obviously you, like, we're gonna be on a spiritual level, like, right, but we're also gonna be on some real shit. Like, you can think who you want to be, but you also sometimes just don't know what exactly that path looks like. So, like, let's say just using your imagination and using your senses, if I tell you to imagine a red apple in your head right now, can you see the red apple? And then I tell you to smell, what does an apple smell like? And not to go get an apple and smell it, but in your imagination, in your mind, in your senses, can you smell the apple? If I tell you to cut it up in your head, to chop it up into pieces, 8 pieces to be exact, can you see that apple chopped up? So if you can do that with something as simple as that, you can do it with your life. See yourself living the life that you want to live. See yourself in the places you want to be. See yourself surrounded by the people you want to be surrounded by. See yourself having the lifestyle and the enjoyment of that future that you want to see yourself having. And I meant to say this in the beginning of this video. Make sure you stick around, because I'm going to do a reading at the end of it to connect us deeper to spirit and how we can move this through us. Okay, right now these are just my thoughts, but I'm gonna do a card pull to see, like, how we can get deeper into this. But the real basis of just how you can connect to your future self is to decide what you want that self to look like, and then to choose the picture, the being, the future, whatever you want to call it, and keep building on that. Some people do it through vision boards. Some people do it through affirmations. Some people do it through journaling. But it's not a thing where, and some people do bank on this. Like, some people do see it as they need someone to tell them, or they need like a picture to be given to them with Thursday. Nothing wrong with that. If you need a picture, honey, I can give you a picture. The everything's gonna be in the description with how it can help you further with this on your personal journey. But the thing is, you're just gonna decide who you want to be, and don't put limits to it. Don't say, oh, this is not possible. Even if you don't see a way that it could be, even if you don't see a way that it could be logically possible, we're gonna ignore logic, ho, and we're just going to decide who we want to be and what we want our lives to look like. And that's pretty much the base of it, honey. Once you decide with full conviction on what you want your life to look like, the universe will naturally start putting things into place for how it can work out. I'll give you a like a personal story or an example of in my life how this worked. Here I am in Mexico. I decided to take a 6 month sabbatical. I was tired of the United States. I decided I'm going to go to Mexico. I was in Mexico for 6 months, like I just said, and um I was at a point where I'm like, okay, my time for being in Mexico is about to expire because my visa is about to end. But I'm like, I don't know what I necessarily want to do next. And I knew that I wanted to move to San Diego. Like, this is just something that was like a long-term goal of mine. It was like a 3 to 5 year goal of mine to move to San Diego, but it wasn't an immediate after Mexico step for me personally, right? So I'm like, okay, I know that moving to San Diego is my overall goal. That's what I want to be in 3 to 5 years, my quote unquote future self. But I'm like, okay, what am I going to do in the meantime? So I just sat, I meditated for a few days. I listened to a lot of Neville Goddard. I listened to a lot of Abraham Hicks. And I'm like, just accepting that I know that's what I want to do in my future, but I'm going to let it play out however it plays out. Within at least 24 hours, not even 24 hours, an opportunity came up for me to move to San Diego immediately. So it was like I set the goal or the manifestation in my head to move here where I am now. I live in San Diego. I set the goal to move here within 3 to 5 years and within 24 hours, just because I set that intention. Like I said, I had the conviction. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what my future self looked like. And I was able to quantum leap into that reality. That's why I said in the beginning of this, it doesn't have to be years and years or months or whatever in the making. Like, you get to decide who you want to be now, and you get to live as who you want to be now. You get to imagine it and make it come true now. You don't have to wait. There is no waiting period in manifestation, and we can make another video about that later. But you get to decide who you want to be, and you get to live that out as now, as in the president, bitch, you are the president, but in the present, because multiple realities of you existing. When I was in Mexico saying I want to move to San Diego in 3 to 5 years, there was already a version of me who was in San Diego as I was saying that. There was a version of me who was living out my manifestations in that moment already. So there was no need for me to attach myself or to connect with myself with the version of me that was there years later. There was also a version of me that could have been there 10 years later, 20 years later. Like, there's a version of me who would have never made it to San Diego. But because I decided to connect with myself, another version of yourself, you can call it your higher self, your future self, it doesn't matter. Because I, in that present moment, decided to be aligned with myself that was there already, I made it here. And this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take long. Okay, so I'm going to figure out which cards I want to use, which tarot cards I want to use, and then I'm gonna jump into the reading. If it resonates, let it resonate. If you need a personal reading, the description will have all the information that you need. Okay. If you don't want a personal reading, just do me a favor, honey, and repost or like share it, like it, comment, and tell me how you're feeling. Okay, honey, and let's really get into that. Okay, getting into this reading, I did a shuffle on my playlist, and the song that came up is Natalie Nunn, Doing What I Want, which is so true, bitch, because literally, like, when you are a master manifester, when you are the god of your own reality, you can decide to do whatever the fuck you want, and nobody can't tell you nothing. Nobody can't tell you who to be. Nobody can tell you what's coming next in your life. Nobody can't give you no limitations. Like people always like to tell you what they think is possible for you based on what they can or can't perceive that they can achieve in their own life. And don't listen to that. Like straight up, do not fucking listen to that. Anyway, so the cards, I pulled three cards, right? Three oracle cards from my spirit oracle deck. I mean, it's like a spirit animal oracle deck. Okay, so the first card that we have is Skunk Spirit, number 54, if that's significant to anybody. The card is Know Your Worth, which means if you have seen yourself as someone who maybe this is not possible for me, maybe I can't figure it out, maybe this, know who you are, know your worth, know what, even like I'm thinking of like this skunk. Like when you think of a skunk, you think of like they be not farting, but like they be just spreading their little funk all over the place and they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. Like, you're gonna smell this because I know that regardless of if my shit stink or not, I'm a shit on you, host, and you're just gonna have to smell it. Oh well, that's the real serious truth, honey. Know your worth, know who you are, know what you're capable of, and it doesn't matter. Like I said, what situation you see yourself in. If you see yourself in a low situation, you see yourself to. I hate to bring up these buzzwords, but like depressed, having anxiety, or like whatever that is. See yourself as higher than that. See yourself as able to overcome it. No circumstance could be higher than you as God. Like, if you see yourself as God or even in God's image, and God is supposed to be perfection, the one who created all of the universes that you could probably name or any human could name, why would you not see yourself as above any circumstance? God created the heaven and the earth, but God can't overcome depression. God can't overcome anxiety. God can't overcome like not having enough money for something, or not having their SP, or not having like, is this your king? Is this who we see God as? No. You should know, as the one who is creating your reality, that you have the power and you have the ability to overcome any circumstance. So know who you are, literally. Okay, the next card is the Stag Spirit. A stag is like a deer. Okay, card number 58. And the message is take the lead. Does this still fit? Yes, because take the lead. Who are you? Like we just said, know your worth, and you get to decide who you are. You don't have to let anything be up to circumstance. You don't have to let anything be up to, oh, if the universe wills it so, if God wills it so, or divine timing. Like, sometimes these things do play in our lives, but it's a lot. Like, once again, this is one of those things where we're going to have to make another video at a later date, honey, because right now this would be a 2 hour long video if I sat and digged into every little thing I said. But you get to be responsible for your own life. You get to be responsible for who you are, and don't take this in a hard way like it's too much responsibility. Sometimes I do be feeling like that. Like, it's so much, honey. Like, it's so much. But hey, I just got subscribed to something. But anyway, you get to be your own person. You get to decide what you want. You get to decide who you are. And even with those infinite versions of you that exist throughout the multiverse, you personally get to choose which one that you connect with at which moment. You get to choose. You get to choose um which version of you want to be. You get to choose who you want to be at any given moment, okay? So anyway, moving on to the third card is Otter Spirit. And the card number is 42, if that's significant to anyone. And the message is, you are never alone. Can we get an amen? Okay. Like, the same thing that I just keep saying. It's like spirit just always reiterates itself. Like, okay, you get it, you got it. You are never alone. When I say that there are infinite versions of you across the multiverse, I'm not just talking about you as in people who resemble you, people who act like you, meaning like, even if we want to get into like a deep consciousness, like, oh, there's parallel universes. And mind you, this has already been, I'm not just saying shit. Like, I never just say shit. This is stuff that has been confirmed by NASA, by scientists. parallel universes are a thing. So there is a universe somewhere in the goddamn, what's it called, in space or in the stratosphere or whatever them things is called, honey. It's a motherfucker that look like you, act like you, got a basically parallel life to you. That's not even the folks I'm talking about. I'm talking about you are never alone, as in the versions of you that don't even look like you. They don't even look like a possibility that you could fathom. I'm talking about if you're down on your dumps, there's a version of you that's a millionaire. There's a version of you that's loved and appreciated and wholly welcomed into this world. There's a version of you that's not. There's a version of you that's dead. There's a version of you that's living infinitely. There's a version of you, like, there's infinite versions of you. Even I was thinking before I said this, there's me. Like, I am a version of you just by you even being on this video, by you watching me, by you interacting your energy with mine. Every person that you come across is a version of you. Everybody you watch online, everybody that you have, a cashier that you've interacted with, a teacher you've interacted, everybody is a version of you, because we are all just, what is the word I'm trying to say? Not versions. Um, like, basically we're all just infinite versions of one God. So you're never alone in this world unless everybody else blinked off this motherfucking planet and you were the only one here. Until then, honey, you're never alone. There's people here. Like, there's people here, there's spirits here, like even spirits you can't see. Like, you're not the only one here, okay? So I'm going to pull from one more deck, and that's going to be it for this reading. But once again, if this is resonating, feel free to share this with someone, to comment, to leave a like, to subscribe. Okay. If you would like any personal services, they will all be down in the description. Okay, let's get into the second part, or this technically third part. Yeah. Okay, and finally, um the first card that we have is Death, which is very fitting for this Scorpio full moon. Okay, this is a time where you want to let yourself transform from who you were or are slash are into who you want to be and or slash are. Okay, it's like just letting yourself evolve. I posted this on Threads literally a couple of hours ago. Death always comes with transformation. So if something is ending in your life or in any circumstance, it automatically has to become a new thing, because energy cannot be created nor can it be destroyed. It has to transmute into something else. That's just rules of the universe. Okay, if you plant a flower and a flower dies, it will become part of nature. That's just, I don't make the rules, honey. That's just the rules. I'm just reiterating the rules, okay? In your past, maybe you were stuck on the past. Maybe you were someone in your past that you like you see as someone that, I don't want to say could be helpful in your future, but it's almost like if you used to have this kind of relationship with someone, or you used to have this kind of position in your life, or this kind of stature, this kind of status, because it's the Emperor card with the Six of Cups. So it's like you almost miss this old version of yourself, where you see it as this version of yourself was someone, like I said, of stature. I'm hearing like community, like maybe you just had a different version of yourself, maybe, that you feel like you are missing or you want to go back to. But it's like, let yourself transform, let yourself be strong enough to see what the universe has for you next, because maybe you could be better than that. Like, the next cards beyond that are the Strength card and the Justice card. Let's read out zodiac signs, because they're saying too. So Six of Cups, I see a Scorpio. Okay, this is just me and how I read cards. Six of Cups, I see a Scorpio. So we have Scorpio, Aries, another Scorpio. So Scorpio, definitely with that Scorpio full moon, is prevalent. We have Leo and we have Libra. Okay, so double Scorpio, Aries, Leo, Libra. This doesn't mean that these are only, like, this doesn't mean sun signs, but it just means wherever you have those signs in your chart is where this message will be prominent for you the most. But yeah, like, overall, just let yourself see who you're becoming. Allow yourself to become that quote unquote future self. Like, let yourself become who you're meant to be. And don't put a time limit on it. Don't put it like, oh, and if you are the type of person, babe, be the type of person, honey. If you're the type of person that just needs months and years and stuff to do stuff, don't rush yourself. Do not rush yourself. But this is really for the people who you you get tired of, like, not tired, but you get annoyed. It was 11:11 on my clock just now. So if the angel number is significant to you, then yeah. But it's like for the people who you get kind of annoyed with, like, things take so long, or it takes this much time, or people telling you have to work, or hustle, or struggle, or you do not have to do that. And this is coming from someone who does not do that. I'm very anti-hustle. I don't like hustling. I don't like working hard. I just don't like it. So yeah, if you're that type of person, just put it in your head that it's okay for you to quantum leap into who you want to be. Every version of yourself in this universe that you want to be or could ever imagine to be or even couldn't imagine already exists. You don't have to work hard to get to them. There is no time limit to get to them. There is no, like, for the point of integration, there's no time limit between you and your millionaire self. There's no time limit between you and your loved, adored, and chosen self. There's no time limit. Time is not even fucking real. That shit is not linear, and it's an infinite source across the universe. Time could never run out. It just could never run out, okay? So there's no time limit between you and your desires. Just decide right now that it's yours at this very moment and allow it to be yours. And that's really it, okay? Anyway, once again, my name is Alexis. I hope that this resonated with you. If it did, please feel free to leave me a like, a comment, or subscribe. Share this with a friend. Share this with yourself so you can come back to it later. If you would like any personal service, a reading, a blueprint, you need any clarity, the way to get that will be in the description. Okay? And talk to you later. Love you. Bye.